recyclable before, I should say newly recyclable.
Yeah, we actually are.
Previously recyclable.
Yeah, we're actually changing it to get rid of that because our program's been in effect for like 4 years already, so we're gonna get rid of that soon in the next iteration. So the no stuff, very lot of questions about it. So one of the main common stuff you can't put in there is food. Obviously, all the e-waste, broken electronics, it's not going to recycling. No batteries, no light bulbs, please. Definitely no leaves or twigs or branches like that. Big one is styrofoam. A lot of people think styrofoam is recyclable. What I like to usually tell people is that that is the only type of plastic that we not accept. So when you guys have styrofoam peanuts or any kind of flaky stuff, very bad for the environment. If you can't bag it up, throw it in the trash or just throw it in the trash period. Another big one is candy wrappers and chip bags. If you guys ever look in a chip bag or candy wrappers, there are colorful on one side and very shiny on the inside. So there's two types of material. There's plastic on the outside and there's metal on the inside. We call them Tetra Paks. There's no way to separate them, so the only way the place to go is for trash. Same thing for the grease-on packets and juice box that kids love. You cut them up. They're usually coated with plastic on the outside. The juice box are maybe a thin layer of cardboard, and then metal on the inside. So again, trash. Soda cups and lids, they're always bad for the environment, like I mentioned. So best to put them in the trash too. So
Question. Avocados, bananas, and onions?
food scraps, no food.
Yeah, we'll get to next.
Yeah, food scrap goes into the green.
I have a question
Yeah.
about the straws. So straws are, I thought they were all plastic, but they were on your list.
Not to put in recycling.
Oh,
Yeah, so they go in the trash, because sometimes you drink like milkshake or drink soda, and you put them in recycling, they ooze with stuff, and they contaminate the paper, they contaminate the cardboard, so it's best to place them into the trash.
if you rent some, you think it's okay?
No.
It's more of like a litter bin too. A
Yeah.
lot of times, like right now, we have our line. You see what they have to sort through.
Yeah.
They're not gonna take the time to try to find
Yeah,
every
it's
straw.
not gonna make it through.
Yeah, so that's, and then also, a lot of wind passes through the facility, so it blows straws around. For the same reason, we don't take single plastic bags, but if you bag them up,
Yeah.
it's
So
easier for us to
the
do.
reason why we ask you guys to bag up the bags and the stretch wraps and all the bubble wrap is because of our machinery right here. When you have one bag or one piece of soft plastic, it gets clogged in our machine. However, you bag it up, our workers will identify them and pull them aside before they go through the machine. So it actually helps us. So this is actually a picture of what our sort line looks like. As you can see, it's a mixture of paper, plastic, metal, all kinds of stuff in there, and probably trash. So our workers go through and pull out all the trash that are not recyclable, and they run it through a machine that has a metal detector, a magnet for the metal. They have a blower for the air in the cardboard. They have lasers for the different types of plastic, and then it all gets sorted out. And then we bale it up into cubes, giant cubes of material. So for example, this is a bale of paper, and that is a bale of aluminum on the left bottom, and top is a bale of mixed plastic right there. So all these materials eventually gets bought and shipped all over the country, and mostly paper, plastics, and cardboard get shipped over to Asia, China, or Vietnam, all that stuff, to get recycled. So what we do here in America is we do all the sorting and cleaning and stuff. And the actual recyclers are actually in other countries, or metal recyclers in this country right here. So people will come to inspect the material, and if they like it, they'll report it back to their owners back in other countries or other states, and they will approve the purchasing process, and they will buy the material from us. So what we do is that we sort the material basically, and make sure that it is clean for the recycling. So that's why it's important to, when you guys have to-go containers or soda cans, soda cups, all those things, make sure it's not oozing or dripping, because imagine this clean block of paper getting contaminated with sauces or juices. By the time it makes it over to China, after 2 months sitting in an airtight shipping container, it's going to get nasty in there. So, and also China's being very stringent on the quality of the material these days too. So that's why I tell everybody to try to rinse the material out before placing it in the recycler. But our facility in West County here is called the WCRR. It's called the West County Resource Recovery. Other places called MRF. It's basically a material recovery facility. And then, so I'm sure you guys will see some of these carts laying around here. A blue cart usually means recycling. If you guys have a bin that does not, actually Terry and I will drive around maybe tomorrow or on Friday. We'll make sure that your guys' front loaders have the new decal on there. This is actually our new decal that we designed to place on the front loader bin. So this is a front loader bin for recycling, and that is a blue cart for recycling.
We just have the ones on the left, I think.
You guys have two of the bigger ones too.
We do?
Yeah.
Our guys emptied ours and put them in the big one.
So,
Oh, okay.
do you guys have a gate or a lock near these bigger bins by any chance?
Yeah, I believe facility only has access to that. Like
Oh,
like
okay.
Karen said, I think the maintenance guys take all the stuff from the carts
Yeah.
and then put them in the blue bins themselves. They're
So
front
would
loaders.
you guys benefit from a new sticker?
Yeah.
Do you guys see these big bins?
On the front loader, no.
Okay.
So I don't know if
maybe
we
I just give it
benefit.
to you guys, drop it off at the office, and you guys can have your maintenance staff put it on there. But because we usually go around labeling all.
Definitely the labels on the carts. Do you guys have those?
Our new carts do. And we're in the process of replacing the old carts if they break or if the lid comes off. But usually, generally, blue means recycling, but we don't have
Okay.
the stickers for the new carts because they're embossed on the cart lid itself. So when they
Right.
mold it, it is actually part of the process. So
Do you have any of those posters up there that?
we do have posters that we can give you. They're
Yeah.
11 by 17 posters.
Perfect.
I can send them to you.
Are they already laminated?
Yeah.
And some of them, we do provide ones that are laminated, so
That would be great.
I can send them to you guys.
If you can provide the laminated ones, yeah, because they're outdoor. We'll put them outdoor.
Yeah.
How many do you guys need, do you know?
How
How
many
many
closures?
At least 40,
Yeah,
Or-
about
How
40.
many?
because there's, yeah, at least,
How
because
many?
there's 4 bins in each.
No, I
No,
mean,
no, we're putting them in the.
we're putting them in the garbage enclosure, exactly.
How
Oh, I
many
thought you were actually
enclosures?
gonna put them on
Yeah.
each.
How many
No.
enclosures do we have? How many waste?
I would say maybe 10.
Yeah,
Yes.
10 or 12, something.
I'll give you guys 15.
Okay.
Do that.
I'll drop it off
That-
maybe
that'll-
tomorrow.
that's better than
You-
nothing.
You guys are
Who's
here.
here tomorrow night?
Maybe if we
I'm
can,
here tomorrow.
Okay,
Karen?
Karen is
Are
here.
you guys at the office?
are here.
if you can maybe drop it off at the office and maybe Karen can,
Or Karen
Or if
can
you call me, I
arrange.
can meet you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get your number.
Okay.
I have your email. though.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this is what going forward our bins and carts will look like. So when you
That'd
guys,
be
when you
great.
guys have the carts break, we'll replace it with a new one with the boss one on.
So let me just ask you something else. So at our mail thing, Tortillas and mine, there is a little recycling bin just for the mail, which makes it easy. Nobody's gonna walk over to that dirty thing, to throw away their mail. And nobody misuses it. Do you have those? They're about this, that tall?
We have recycling baskets that are probably knee high with a little handle on it. That's the only thing the county's providing so far for us.
A trash can, maybe
Yeah.
4
So
feet high.
as I mentioned before, the county is looking to buy additional bins, which they're gonna provide in the future, but I haven't received where they actually got it in stock yet, so maybe hang tight. I will come back, circle back with you guys in the future and let them know you guys are looking for indoor bins for that kind of stuff. But you guys can always purchase them from Rubbermaid, the blue ones and stuff like that.
You guys couldn't, you said I think in each enclosure there's about 4 of the blue carts. You couldn't take one out of?
it's too big.
It's too
It's
big.
like
Too big.
3
Yeah.
3 of them, you want something smaller.
Yeah, it needs something about a quarter of that size, with that height.
And that would be on the paper. But they said they ordered them already.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be too big for the mail kiosks.
Oh, okay, yeah, so we have apartments that they just roll their blue carts.
Just a
over
thought,
there.
since this is being recorded, maybe if we save our questions and comments until the end.
Yeah, probably better.
Special
But I'm gonna edit it, so
Oh,
I'll just edit you guys out.
Okay.
But yeah, that helps because I might run out of battery or tape.
Okay.
Okay.
And then some tips for you guys. If you guys do, for example, shred paper, we recommend a paper bag because in the end we do have to break the bag open in the recycling facility, so it does require some labor. But if you guys must use a plastic bag, a clear one would be the most ideal. Don't, as you see in the next slide, don't use color bags. The reason is because our drivers are trained to see color bags as trash. Most particularly black trash bags, always trash. So we prefer you guys not to bag up your recyclables either, but you really have to. Clear plastic bags. And again, just a reminder, bag up your plastic bags and your bubble wrap and your stretch wrap and stuff like that, just like up there. And then throw it in the recycling. So. And then I'll hand this over next part to my partner, Terry.
So next I'm going to talk about organics, the green stuff, the food, the leftover scraps in your kitchen. So first off, why are we doing this in the first place? Well, whether you do believe in it or not, we are having an issue with climate change. And so to tackle that, our local government has come up with Assembly Bill 1826. We've already had two of the rules go into place. The first one was in 2016 where any business or multifamily dwelling, which is what you guys are considered, if you have 8 cubic yards or more of organic waste a week, you're going to have to start diverting some of the materials into a, what we call organics or yard waste container. Now it's dropped down to 4 cubic yards of organic waste, and then in 2019, it would just be 4 cubic yards of waste in general. Okay, next. Okay, so what is organics waste? So before we just had the garbage and recycling bin, then we went to something called yard waste, which is just basically all the trimmings, your grass, leaves, branches outside. But we're trying to take it another step and calling it organics. And the reason why we're fading away from yard waste and calling it organics is because it's pretty much, I like to say, my rule of thumb is anything that was once alive. So we're going past just everything outside, because if you're maybe at a house where you don't have, or an apartment where there's not a lot of organic waste that you have, but you have tons of leftover food, maybe you have a lot of kids and they don't eat everything or they don't like what you serve them, all this waste can be diverted out of the garbage and put into the organic stream. And I kind of skipped the point, so just quickly back to the climate change. The reason why we're trying to get these materials out of the garbage is because when they degrade, they create something called methane. And methane, I think, is something like 20 times more damaging to the environment than regular CO2. And so in the old days, when we just used to put everything in one container and bury it underground, we're now starting to see some of the effects with that methane damaging not only in the environment, but if you've ever driven down Richmond Parkway or sometimes out of Newbie Island or Fremont, and then you get that pungent odor, that smell, there it is right here. So even if you don't believe in climate change, but you just like fresh smelling air, then you need to start switching to organic materials. So this is what we're trying to do in our service area. Organic materials, fruits, veggies, even meats. We have paper plates as well. So we had earlier where there were no avocados, banana peels in the recycling, but we would love to see that in any of the green bins as well. Next slide.
So it's basically just food and yard trimming. right?
Yes, exactly.
And compostable paper, so you
Yes,
guys
so
have
napkins, paper
paper
towels.
plates,
Soil, soil, paper.
soil paper.
Oh yes.
Nothing from the
Food
bathroom.
soil, called food soil paper. So like if you go to McDonald's, it's not, and you get a burger in the wrap, it's not paper towel or napkin, but it's food soil paper, and we'll take that. Also, what you get your French fries in, something like that as well.
Just a heads up, no, nothing from the bathroom or when you blow your nose or anything. Because we can't control the diseases
Yeah,
and.
now we're going into biohazard
Yeah.
stuff. That's a whole
That should go in the trash.
territory. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so things that we don't want in the organics, of course, all the things we mentioned that should go into the recycling, but as well, believe it or not, we wouldn't be talking about it if we didn't see it, but batteries, electronics, keyboards, computer monitors, glass, mentioned chip bags, that should be in the garbage as well. Stuff like that should go in other proper containers like recycling that we mentioned. And then I'll talk more about the e-waste next. So this is always up for debate. We have a lot of people who say, oh, I buy this biodegradable or this compostable utensils, and we've got plenty of companies around what we call doing greenwashing, where they say something is biodegradable and it can go in your green bin. Well, biodegradable is such a general term. Technically, a plastic spoon is biodegradable. It'll degrade. It might take 1,000 years to do it, but it'll degrade. And as such, there's no real legal terminology around that term yet, so we're just kind of trying to stay away from it all in general. Pretty much the only true biodegradable utensils and even some cups that we use are like the paper cups. There's a company out there right now, they're making forks, spoons, and knives out of bamboo. That's really going the extra step. So so there's some out of potatoes, but even then, it's hard to identify all of that. So we're just saying, no, not yet.
What about those packing peanuts that melt when you put water on them? You know, they're
No, it's plastic.
They degrade them really, really fine. powder,
Plastics.
and it's still plastic.
Still plastic. yeah.
So what about,
You know-
like, I have a green bin I keep in my refrigerator, and I have a compostable
Green
plastic bag.
Okay.
Those are
Next
okay?
slide. please.
Oh,
Funny you ask. So,
yeah.
no regular plastic bags, but there's some good companies out there right now making the green compostable bags, and we're accepting those because they are made out of a different material than a regular plastic, and we're still able to identify some of the materials in the bag. I think there's what we've got right now is EcoSafe. That's the company that we use. There's also BioBag is pretty cool, but these are kind of the more larger companies where we've worked at, and we're pretty okay with their materials versus who knows how many other people are making all these forks, cups, spoons, and knives, and all that. Another thing I just tell people, if you've got old newspapers or even like your plastic shopping bag, just put your food scraps in that, and you can put it in your bin as well.
Yeah, that's a great trick. That's what I do at home. I took a picture. So about 5 to 6 layers of newspaper is absorb all the juice and smell. You wrap it up and it lasts for a whole week.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to know what to do with your junk mail, there you go. Perfect. So yeah. All right. So what happens in the organic process? So you throw all these things in the container: the paper, the food, the bones, the meat, all of that. What happens to it? So we actually, our trucks will come and dump it at our old landfill, which is now just a sorting facility. It's right over here off of Richmond Parkway. So it looks like that, and what happens is they're put in long rows, and all these materials are laid on top of pipes, and it goes through a process. It's called the aerobic static pile process. And what that is there's pipes that are pumping air into these large piles, and after a few months, there's a lot of microorganisms in there. They break down all this material. They eat the food. They break down the bones, the meats, all the organic stuff, so that what we're really left with afterwards is just kind of all the garbage that people still don't pay attention to the signs with and put in there anyway. What happens with that is goes through a machine that just kind of spins all the materials around, and all the lighter stuff compared to the heavier soil is sorted off. So we'll capture that, scoop it up, and transport it to the landfill, unfortunately. But what we have at the end is this nice brown and finished organic material that, next slide, we give back to the local communities. This is actually the Bay Area Rescue Mission. They use some of our compost to put on their veggie gardens and just around their landscape as well. So it's a way to kind of keep things in the loop.
They grow food back to the for the homeless and the needy.
Do you guys sell those bags, or do you have to, or can you go?
Do a little bit of both. So it just depends on who's asking, but you can drive up with your own little pickup if you want to go up there and just say, load up my pickup
You
with
could.
compost.
It's like
Yes.
$20-something a yard
Okay.
for compost, and it's really good compost.
Okay.
We have donated in the past to schools, to local communities, so if you guys are interested, you can always email us upon approval. I can't guarantee that but
Or residents can just drive up, like Terry
yeah,
said,
they
and
can
just.
drive up and ask for it, and they just
Okay.
use pickup truck.
Sure.
Yeah.
Really easy.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it, but sometimes we'll have like special events. Like I said, it just depends on circumstance. I've done a special event where we had a guy drive up with his pickup truck, and I'm out there like a farmer, just we're just tossing it in the back of his truck, and he came back for more afterwards. So just us someone with a big yard, and I wish I had.
Yeah.
All right. So next slide. Yeah. So from the organic waste, so we're moving on to the household hazardous waste. So I think Reagan passed out. Did everyone get one of these pamphlets here? So these are with the purple writing. This talks more about household hazardous waste. These are things that we don't want in any of the containers that I just mentioned. Not in our recycling. No, sorry. We don't want it in our garbage. Certainly don't want it in our recycling, and definitely don't want it in our compost as well. These are all things that are considered household hazardous waste, so they're not industrial waste, but they're still kind of hazardous, so we'll take them in our facility. Common stuff, your microwaves, computers, screens, cleaning chemicals like bleach, Pine Sol. unfortunately, even though we're trying to be good with one thing, we use the fluorescent bulbs to save energy, but on the downside, they're also hazardous, so we'll go ahead and take those back. And that goes both for the spiral ones that you use in your lamps or the large long ones as well. We also take sharps. If someone has maybe like diabetes and they do self-injection, we will collect those at our facility. And then mercury thermometers, car oil filters, lots of paint, and then just a few other kind of chemicals here, solvents as well that we're taking. If you're really unsure, you can always call the number in our pamphlet. This facility is right here. It's open Wednesday through Thursday. Oh, sorry, Wednesday through Saturday, 9 to 4. Next slide too. Another thing I wanted to point out too. I'll go back one more. So right here, cooking oil. If you like, everyone loves bacon. I love bacon unless you're vegan or vegetarian. I'm sorry. But a lot of the grease from meats like that you cook, I'm sure you guys have heard, don't dump it down the drain. This is why. So this is actually a pipe that we cut out the inside of, and you can see all those fats when they go down the drain and they solidify. That's what happens. So this is how you can end up with clogged up pipes and causing a whole bunch of more problems than you ever should have. So we'll actually take that down at our collection facility as well. So,
Excuse me. You showed like pill containers with pills in it.
Yes.
On the left, can you put in the household hazardous waste your expired medicines?
yes,
and that kind of
exactly.
thing?
So just like the sharps, so pharmaceuticals or sharps, we'll take that as well, as long as they're not non-prescribed, no prescription.
We'll take all of it.
We'll take them all? Okay, yeah. So I know before we were not, is it over the
Where do
counter?
we put those?
So I'm showing you, our facility, it's right
Oh,
here.
take it there.
Yeah, you take it down here. It's here we go, 101 Pittsburgh Ave in Richmond. It's open Wednesday through Saturday, 9 to 4, but they're closed for a half an hour, 12 to 12:30. People gotta eat lunch.
El Cerrito Recycling Center.
Or El Cerrito is that's the next one I was gonna
It's
say.
really good.
I say Richmond's a little closer to you guys, and that way you don't have to pay. You just bring your ID and show that you live in Richmond or the service area, and you can drop off your items. I think that it's up to 125 pounds or 15 gallons of liquid, so like paints.
Well,
Actually, El Cerritos is closer depending on where it is.
Right.
Oh, if you're
But
that
they're
from
both
here, so.
there.
Yeah,
But yeah.
both are open to Richmond residents, so.
Yes, but I think El Cerrito is only. Do we have El Cerrito? No, they have shorter hours. I think El Cerrito is only open on
Till 5.
Only Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
No.
Well,
We're
the
recycling
new day's Tuesday, but they open
They
the
add
other
that.
days. I'm sorry. We usually advertise our one because this is our facility, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
but don't get El Cerrito. So there's the El Cerrito recycling facility, but then the household hazardous waste section of it is only Tuesdays. That's what we're saying.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they don't have. So we have to have. The regular workers at El Cerrito recycling cannot do this. We have to have special people. That's why it's only on Tuesdays. You have to have special clearance to take all this
Got it.
stuff. So that's why. All right, and then other places you can take for some pharmaceuticals and sharps. There's local drop-off kiosks. We have the senior centers, senior center at 2525 McDonald, Annex Center, these all the Richmond Police Station, and the
That's
wastewater.
right here. The original police
Police station, yes, you guys
Yeah,
take it
right
there.
around the corner for you.
Yeah, but that's just for sharps and mids. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
Not so light bulbs and stuff. You have to go down to Pittsburgh Ave as well. But just other ways. So. Keeping all this in mind, it is a lot of waste in general to deal with, but the best way to avoid all of this is to follow the, usually it's the 4 R's, so reduce, reuse, I also say recycle and rebuy, so you don't always have to use plastic bottles or styrofoam paper cups. It's better to buy things in reusable containers. I always take mine with a coffee mug in a Starbucks when I get my coffee, or regular House's water bottle. You get a little 10-cent discount at Starbucks for using your cup, and I say yay, and then I see how much the coffee costs, and I realize it doesn't even matter. Yeah. So, but also reuse. So there's other ways to, even though recycling is good, it's always good to just even keep those out of the loop and maybe find other ways or things to do with them. Here we have someone here making a bird feeder out of plastic bottles as well. If not reducing or reusing, then it's okay to recycle. Then also, I like to say rebuy. It's always good to rebuy items that are made out of recyclable materials, because if you're not rebuying the things they're made out of, then why recycle in the first place? So next one.
Yeah, when you guys have a choice to go buy eggs, for example,
Yeah.
egg cartons, they either styrofoam or paper. I would always choose the paper.
Paper.
Just my preference.
Yeah.
You guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
Styrofoam's not good.
Perfect. All right, so without further ado, that's the end of our presentation. And I know we answered a lot of questions, but if there's still any burning questions, we can
I've
also answer.
got a couple of
Oh,
questions.
sure, Mr. Guy.